Good morning, everyone. Today I am introducing ClickUp, a project management platform that has it all: planning, tracking, collaboration, and reporting in a single connected workspace. How cool is that? This presentation aims to review ClickUp as an alternative software through the prism of project management. I will discuss the platform, its developer, its fundamental operations, cost, implementation, benefits, restrictions, its key competitors, and its most suitable industries. The aim is to assess the value of whether it is a real value to project teams as a whole. The presentation has a very simple and logical flow, ensuring that the evaluation is not complicated. It starts by defining what ClickUp is and the primary issue that it attempts to address in project management. Then the focus shifts to the company behind the same and the bigger purpose of the platform. The central part is devoted to the most significant functions, and these are tasks, views, documentations, whiteboards, chat, and reporting. The analysis then changes to installation, deployment, and price, since the software value is also determined by accessibility and cost. The final part considers strength, trade-offs, competitors, and market fit, and then finishes with a closing recommendation. That sequence is important since it proceeds through definition to function to adoption and then to general judgment in a manner that seems to make sense. Fragmentation is a significant problem in project management. Activities can be saved in a single platform, files can be reside in folders, and reporting can be ready in another place. Such a division causes delays and misunderstandings since teams are able to spend time on changing tools rather than moving the work. When information is dispersed, updates are more difficult to monitor. Decisions become decontextualized and accountability is less evident. Here, ClickUp is offered as the answer to that issue. Its worth starts with the introduction of tasks. So why it is important that project teams require seeing each other rather than some solitary bits of information. With coordination and follow-up in the same workspace, it is way much easier to control progress, allocate responsibility, and minimize manual work throughout the project lifecycle. Project teams frequently require multiple functions simultaneously. Planning should be linked to execution. Communication should keep in touch with the work, and reporting should be based on actual activity. The visibility and accountability, which are the pillars of project management, are also supported on the platform. As a manager, must have an understanding of what is being done, who owns it, and whether the timelines are being met. Another useful point is flexibility. The platform is designed to accommodate various team sizes, including small teams and large organizations. In an actual sense, ClickUp is introduced as a linked system of organizing, monitoring, and communicating work more efficiently. ClickUp is an application designed by the company called ClickUp Inc., established in 2017 in San Diego, California. Although this is younger to some older software brands, its message is very clear. The company is concentrated on productivity and introduces the platform as a means of substituting piecemeal work tools with a single linked system. This is important in project management. It is also possible to understand why ClickUp has such a variety of connected functions rather than being a small task application. Because the company's mission is focused on productivity. The greater concept is convergence. Instead of isolating communication, planning, and reporting on various platforms, ClickUp attempts to integrate them. In project management perspective, this simplifies the software to be a workspace constructed to minimize friction and enhance continuity. The objective of the platform in project management can be explained by the entire work lifecycle illustrated below. ClickUp assists in centralizing tasks, files, and updates that make a single record over multiple records that are not linked to each other. The right side lifecycle makes that point quite evident. The work starts with intake, proceeds to planning, assignment, execution, and reporting. The idea of ClickUp is in the process of evaluation as a platform that will be able to take care of each of those stages under a single roof. And this is why it is introduced as a more universal project management solution and not a checklist application. Tasks are the operational foundation of ClickUp. Since project work requires definite assignments, the mentioned features reveal that users are able to add tasks and subtasks, assign owners, set due dates, define priorities, and track status. Those are not details. They are the fundamental controls that aid in the arrangement of day-to-day execution by teams. Custom fields bring even greater flexibility as teams are able to add project-specific data like project stages, project departments, or project risk categories. Different people look at the same project in different ways, so multiple views can be a significant advantage. As a result, ClickUp allows list, board, calendar, Gantt, and workload views. And that is why the same work can be presented in different perspectives without establishing independent systems. List view would help in tracking in detail. Board view promotes Kanban style workflows. The calendar view is useful in time planning and scheduling. The Gantt view is particularly useful where time and dependencies are important. And the workload view assists managers in considering capacity. That flexibility helps in planning as well as in communication within project management. The same format is not always required by the executives, project managers, and contributors. A manager can stick to dependency and capacity, whereas a contributor would like to have a list or board of daily actions. One source of truth has many different interpretations. Documentation is a major part of project management, and that is why docs and wikis matter here. Briefs, project plans, standard operating procedures, and meeting notes are also tools that teams use to keep work on track. That is to say that ideas are not kept in a set of inert notes. They can take action more swiftly. Continuity over time is also supported by version history and searchable content. To project managers, the actual benefit is that the planning remains closer to the execution, which enhances the ability to follow through after the meetings, reviews, and decision points. Whiteboards are best applied in cases where the project work starts with brainstorming, mapping, or early alignment. Now we all know that not all projects have a clean task list on commencement. Others starts with crude ideas, process mapping, or visual collaboration. The whiteboards in ClickUp help with that step by providing teams a brainstorming space in real time, allowing them to sort ideas and visualize workflow. Ideas do not need to stay in isolation, and on the other hand, ideas are convertible into tasks that assist teams in transitioning between creative planning and formal delivery without the momentum being lost. Remote collaboration is also a strong aspect of the feature, since individuals can work on the same visual workspace without having to be present in the same room. Whiteboards, in that regard, serve to bridge the gap between early planning and the later execution. Project managers require more than task list. They also require up-to-date searchable information regarding progress, workload, status, and performance. This is where dashboards and reporting come in. The stakeholder communication is particularly useful in reporting, since leaders do not necessarily require task screens but only summaries. The live dashboard will help minimize independent manual updates or frequent status requests. It also enhances visibility because it makes bottlenecks and trends easy to observe. In the workspace, traceability is the actual benefit to project managers. Chat is no longer a side channel but actually an element of the project system, which facilitates more effective follow-through and continuity within the team. Beyond the main project functions, ClickUp also includes support tools that improve measurement, alignment, and efficiency. Time tracking assists the teams in capturing hours, efforts, and capacity in tasks and projects. That would be able to support the workload review. Therefore, teams can see whether their daily work is indeed leading them to the bigger results or not. Automations minimize repetitive updates, handoffs, and routine administrative work. It implies that the platform would be able to perform some actions that are predictable rather than manually coordinate them at all times. Installation and deployment are important. since the value of software is determined by its accessibility and ease of use. Here, ClickUp is presented in the form of cloud-first application with extensive access to web browsers, desktop applications, mobile applications, and extensions or integrations. That simplifies the adoption of distributed teams since members are able to work on diverse machines and settings without having to install distinct systems. The extensions and integrations are also viable since it assists team in linking the prior workflows with the platform. The cloud-first model is not going to be as effective in all organizations. Some places are very restricting and they might need a deeper examination. From a project management point of view, accessibility is the key benefit, and the key warning is that flexibility in deployment might not meet all the infrastructure preferences. Now let's talk about the pricing. The pricing model reveals that the entry point of ClickUp is low and affordable. However, higher levels of control and more advanced functionality can be found at higher cost. The free plan is basic, whereas the unlimited plan provides more robust working capabilities that include storage, time tracking, and Gantt charts. Business plan enhances reporting and control with the help of dashboards, timelines, personal whiteboards, and Google SSO. Enterprise extends further to governance, audit, data residency, and managed support. One more crucial aspect is that AI features are sold separately and therefore can add to the overall cost depending on the amount of the team would like to use them. The logic of pricing is important in a project management process since cost must be assessed in relation to real requirements. ClickUp's strongest advantage is breadth within one connected workspace. Rather than requiring teams to integrate numerous individual applications, it integrates tasks, collaboration, visibility, and supporting tools in a single platform. That brings many advantages. First, it provides flexibility to teams, since various workflows can be accommodated under one system. Second, it enhances visibility by use of dashboards, status tracking, and common context. Third, it is easy to work with, since tasks, documents, and communication are not spread. Another important point is growth. The platform will be able to support smaller teams at the same time, providing greater functionality to larger teams. That is why it is appealing to startups, students, and emerging organizations. The number of features is not the only value in project management. The relationship between them is in the connection. When the later features are combined, the teams can be more coordinated, better reported, and have fewer gaps between planning and implementation. A balanced analysis should also deal with trade-offs. This can make ClickUp seem complicated initially due to its richness of features. Since some teams may only need lightweight task tracking, installation can also be time-consuming, as flexible workspaces typically require careful design prior to being clean and productive. Plan gating is another trade-off. Others are more powerful and high-end features shift to higher price ranges. So the most potent instances of the platform is not the most affordable, since some users may be limited to the cloud-first model, in particular those who use the environment that values more rigid deployment options. All these problems do not render the platform weak, but do influence its fit. The general verdict of the case is that ClickUp is most suitable for those who are ready to spend some money on organization and configuration. ClickUp is a competitive business and thus needs to be compared. Asana is perceived as a purer choice for easier coordination. Jira is powerful in agile engineering and software development. Monday.com is associated with visual workflows, whereas a Smartsheet can be suitable in the situation of reporting intensive and spreadsheet-based planning. Notion and Airtable also compete with providing other styles of workflow. It has breadth as its primary advantage. It seeks to include more of the project workflow within a single workspace instead of more specialized specialty. This is why it is placed closer to the all-in-one side of the chart. Its competitors can do it better in simplicity or specialization, but ClickUp attempts to win by making it unnecessary to use multiple disconnected tools. That positioning can be desirable to breadth-oriented teams. ClickUp does not seem to belong to a single industry, but to a variety of departments. The use cases listed here shows value in product and engineering, marketing and agencies, HR and operations, and PMOs or leadership teams. Cross-functional fit is significant as it implies that the platform should be capable of supporting a variety of structured work, not only technical project teams. The broader positioning is reflected in the last recommendation at the bottom. ClickUp is marketed as a powerful choice when a team requires visibility, collaboration, and flexibility under one platform. Meanwhile, fit does count. Teams that just require simple task tracking can find something simpler. For a larger project coordination, however, ClickUp is a persuasive option. Thank you so much for your time and listening me patiently.